Hello, friends. My name is Steve, and we're here to discuss Berserk Volume 17. And we'll go around the room, say hello. Joe, will you kick us off if you have some energy left after editing your book? Or about to edit last wave.
Joe, JCM Byrne, writer of The Hybrid Helix, the fourth book, Shadow of Hyperions, coming out September 12th. You can check out my website, jcmburn.com. You can check out my YouTube channel, you can guess, at JCM Byrne. And my Twitter, surprise, Twitter is actually at JoeByrne1 because I had the Twitter handle long before I picked my author name. So I'm sorry about that. And that's all I got.
Yes. And Dan.
Hello everyone. I'm Dan. I'm a person that reads books and mangas, and I've read Berserk before. And that's everything my life is. No, not really.
And Varsha.
Hi, I'm Varsha. I run a tiny YouTube channel called Reading by the Rainy Mountain where I like to talk about my favorite books. And this is my first time reading Berserk, and Volume 17 was possibly my favorite so far. So I'm excited for the discussion today.
You know, I think I might agree with you. Yeah. It seemed like I have a lot of tabs in this volume. Lots of things. Lots of stuff. So.
Yeah.
So the volume starts with where we left off with the last volume, with Guts imprisoned, but that doesn't last very long, as we kind of expected it wouldn't, because you can't hold him down. But what did everyone think about this section?
Like a section up to, like, when he kidnaps her and there's a battle, or before that?
Yeah, with Puck, he's not really trapped anywhere too long, right? Because Puck can help him.
Yeah.
So
mainly, I guess, we
what do you do without Puck?
Mm-hmm.
With Puck and with the demons coming at night.
Yeah.
Right? Even without Puck, right? They're going to eat the jailers. So,
But don't they only come to where Guts is? They maybe wouldn't have come there if Guts wasn't there.
Right. But if Guts is like stuck anywhere, they're going to come at him for him, and they're going to eat everybody else around. So in a way, he's got like this I wouldn't say protection. I don't know. But a surprise in store for anyone who tries to capture him. I think, right? He didn't seem too worried either. He's like, "Oh, here I am. This isn't good." But I guess when you've been through what Guts has been through, just being like imprisoned and handcuffed by a bunch. I like how they can't handcuff him because he's got the one missing hand. They're like, "What do we do now?"
Yeah.
I think that was actually the last volume, but it was still funny.
Yeah, he's apparently been fighting demons every night for 2 years, so he was expecting them more than fearing them, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that doesn't last long. And then he's on the run, I guess. And he goes to the commander there. Already forgetting the name. So bad with names.
Farsi?
Farnese?
Farnese, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And well, we get to see a bit more of her character in this volume, I guess. I think some of you were already sort of anticipating that it would be something a bit like that from the discussions last week. It's very, how to say, very typical, I don't know, sort of like Catholic guilt sort of thing with self-punishment, but mixed with some sort of, repressed urges. It's a very complicated sort of internal turmoil thing.
Yeah. It had a very disturbing, it led to a very disturbing scene, but anyway, this thing where the demon is sort of gently touching her face, that was incredibly creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the I think it was Dolores who was saying that I bet that she's, whipping herself up, and then this book opened with that, and I was like, yeah, you called it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, what do you guys think of her character for now? You've seen. Are you interested in seeing what happens with her, or don't like her? Or, I don't know.
Seems out of her depth. Yeah.
Yeah. She's the fragile true believer, right? You can almost see it. She's gonna get broken and like rebuild herself, because she's the denier of the she's stuck in this rigid world. The rigid, right? No, they don't call it that. Whatever they call it.
Yeah, the rigid world.
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe it is. And it's not gonna last, right? There's gonna be there's stuff coming in her future that's gonna make it impossible for her to keep her head in the sand. And it's always a fun character. I feel like there's a I'm trying to remember. Like, I feel like there's a lot of places where there's this like. I feel like the Japanese have a different sort of knee-jerk reaction about Catholicism than we have in the West. Like in the West, people are, I think, a little, I don't know, like a little more, a little slower to be this critical, maybe, or something. And I feel like I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I think it's funny. This is definitely like not a positive view of the church.
But usually in fantasy books, the church is not portrayed very nicely. I can't remember any fantasy book in which the church is portrayed nicely. It's always like power grabbing or just using it for their own selfish means or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's one in which they're like the good guys. I don't know. Like at this point, to me, it's almost like. To me, it seems a bit more like an overused trope if it's like a modern book, because it's like, okay, I see a priest. He's going to be a corrupt piece of shit. I know that. It's. And it would be nice to have a bit more nuance, but I mean, this was also written a while ago. But if it was a modern book, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But Farnese isn't corrupt, right? She's a true believer.
No.
She's just messed up. She's the fragile true believer, which is a different trope, which is also highly amusing.
Yeah.
Like it's a fun one.
I guess she wants to be a true believer, I think. Because I think she knows, like, she has some conflicting feelings in her. She's not like the Inquisitor guy. He's the real true believer. He believes in what he does 100%. Right?
Mm.
He either does
I don't
or
think
he's
he has
just
any doubts. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't tell yet. We don't know him well enough.
Yeah, but he seems... I don't know. Like, I think Farnese, like, she feels like weakness within her. She's like, oh, I'm not strong enough, or I'm not pure enough, or I'm not, she's not. I don't know. She struggles with her righteousness, maybe, or her feeling of needing to be righteous, or what the right thing is. I don't know.
Well, it's the classic, right? If you're a normal person and you have this unrealistic expectations of yourself, you're kind of screwed, right? She thinks she shouldn't feel like desire. Well, welcome to the world, honey. You're gonna feel. That's not how things work. You can pray all you want. You're not gonna turn off basic human instincts and biology. So she's trying to whipping it out of herself, which is
bold strategy.
It's a strategy. It's not an uncommon strategy, right? This is historical, right? People did this.
Mm-hmm.
People still do it.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
There's some places in the world where people still, flagellate themselves, or there's even, I don't know if you've seen like the recreation crucifixions in like the Philippines, for example. And those can be real, like actual real ones.
Wow.
So it's still a thing, but yeah, I do like how, like, you can see her inexperience and like being young, like through her characters and how she responds emotionally. Right, she's not like a mature character. She's very young, and you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't realize that, but now that you pointed it out, that makes sense that she's very young and inexperienced. Yeah.
In a lot of things, in warfare, in emotions, in everything, it seems.
Yeah. It was interesting that she wanted Guts killed because of her honor being lost. Like, I mean, sure, but who is Guts going to tell? And you really think that he cares?
She wants to erase it from the world. And she doesn't want it. It's not that I don't think she's thinking clearly, right? That's an emotional response. She wants what happened to be somehow erased from reality. And the only way to do that is to get every observer and make sure they're not there anymore. And then she can pretend it never happened and no one else, I don't think she thinks he's going to narc on her as much as just a witness, and
I see.
the witnesses, if you want to really be self-deluded enough. That's how I took it.
Shouldn't that also extend to that knight of the Holy See who saw her?
He didn't. He saw her trying to have sex or whatever she was trying to do with Guts when she was possessed. I think he saw the after effect. I don't think he saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It seems like not everyone sees the demons, because Puck talks about those who cling to the rigid world don't perceive elves. Sorry, elves. So that was I thought that was interesting. I'd forgotten about that.
They definitely see the possessed stuff that's been mutated. So they'll see an apostle.
Yeah.
No one's not seeing that. Like when the dogs mutate, which is, by the way, super gruesome. He's got a knack for these horrific little faces.
Yeah.
And
the horse.
The horse.
Yeah, I'm not putting the horse on
the horse is kind of a meme at this point. Berserk community. But yeah.
I laughed out loud when I saw she's looking really hopefully at the horse that she can ride away on it, and then she's
I'm not sure laughter was what he was going for with that panel.
Well, I think to be fair, I was laughing at her that she thought she could run away, and because she was denying everything up to that point. Wait, did the horse get possessed? Is that what happened?
Yeah, you didn't see that. Okay. I don't know if horses behave that way normally.
That's not a normal horse.
I don't know.
That's terrifying.
It really is. Yeah. No, but yeah, I forgot. The line before that, I order you, allow me to mount you, then run quickly. It's like, it doesn't speak English, lady, or whatever language you're speaking, right? She's in deep denial. She's not working that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
It is horrific what she's going through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she almost gets decapitated by Guts.
Oh yeah, I was admiring Guts' control of the sword.
I don't know though, right? Like the tip hits the ground, and he's holding it right so that the angle it doesn't cut off her head. But did he control it, or
I think she just got lucky.
Already,
right?
Okay.
Right? Like I'm not sure. It's not clear that he deliberately made sure she would survive as much as he didn't. He wasn't trying to kill her, but.
Yeah.
It almost looks like the ground stops it from.
Yeah, like the tip hits the ground, so the angle means it's not going to sever her head.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did he do that on purpose, or was that just decided that he just didn't care, and it happened to not kill her? But that's how I took it.
So this, what was happening with her triggered his memories of Casca, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of figured he saved her deliberately because he saw her as Casca.
Maybe.
That makes sense.
It's at least ambiguous.
Just reading these volumes and seeing the artwork, it's amazing he did this all by himself. Or I'm sure he had, people
some
helping him,
but yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
This volume is my favorite, but it also I think has the most creepy images. It has the most images that I just like quickly had to move past because I couldn't handle it.
There's a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I when she was sitting on that sword, I couldn't deal with it. I had to move past it quickly.
Yeah.
That was deeply
Steve, if you're interested in seeing a manga which is, I think it's actually drawn by just one person and it's super intricate and detailed, you should check out Otoyomegatari, which is a historical manga, but it's incredibly detailed, and as far as I know, it's only one person drawing it.
A Bride's Story?
Oto Yamagata.
Otoyomegatari. It's a bride's story. It's the story of a bride in Central Asia in the, I think, late 1800s. And it is incredibly detailed, a lot of patterns in the clothes, traditional clothes and architecture and everything. And it's, it's one of it. There's several mangas which are like incredibly detailed and very beautiful, but this is one I always remember.
Nice.
And there's also some tips sometimes. I know there's, I don't remember the name, first guy that did like a very popular zombie manga. And he takes, and these are also incredibly detailed. Or, for example, I don't know if you've heard Oyasumi Punpun manga, but they take photos and then you sort of trace the photo, the details, and then you do additional stuff on top of it. But the basis is the photo, so that's the way they can do these incredibly, almost photorealistic backgrounds sometimes. But I think every mangaka has his own tips and tricks, I guess, to do these things. But yeah, and I think we've yet to go to, like, there's going to be even more detailed artwork for Berserk in the future volumes. But yeah, anyways, short digression. We'll go back to the main topic.
It's on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that he starts to have flashbacks over what happened, because he for all this really dramatic, traumatic event, he kind of just like kept going. So I do like that he's starting to, it's, we know that it's bothering him, but seeing similar images now, takes him back to what happened with Casca.
But the trauma doesn't make him like freeze or like slow down or hesitate. It's the opposite, right? It's fuel. He has to turn all the trauma into fuel. I don't know how realistic that is, but it's kind of cool. I mean, trauma is a superpower, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically say in multiple places, you wouldn't even be standing if not for all the rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was the demon triggering her true thoughts or planting the thoughts that she had in her head?
Why choose?
I think probably like enhancing them or removing limitations or something, right? Maybe.
Yeah. That makes sense.
They do generally seem to be about like facilitating your desires rather than adding their own, right? The whole point of like Griffith isn't become one of the God Hand and then you'll do what we want. It's become one of the God Hand so you can do whatever you want. And that's always what the other God Hand members were saying to him. You're going to make this choice and then you're going to be able to do anything you want, which is it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
But they're not saying we want you to do this so you can go on and conquer the earth or whatever. It's you choose. So that seems to be their general pattern. Maybe like a twist on what you want, but it's not completely from the outside.
I kind of take it as the repressed, kind of like Danny, you were talking about the guilt, the religious guilt, and the repressed feelings that she's dead aloud. It's not okay for her to express anything or to express herself, and that was kind of tempting her to, those desires, I guess.
Yeah. It's weird how a lot of the time, like the more repressed you are, the more weird you get, I guess. It's a typical trope, I guess, but probably has some basis in reality.
When that demon is behind her and inside here there is no God. Only this aching is truth. Give yourself to it, for you it's the only sure thing. You're too far from God. So yeah, it's...
Yeah.
But I guess she's a little bit of a sadomasochist, right? Like, saying she was always deriving pleasure from her own, like, whipping herself and torturing others, and you were pretending it was for God, but really you liked it. So in that sense, she was corrupt. Not materially corrupt. She wasn't out for power or for money, but she kind of likes the pain, her pain, other people's pain. Reminds me of my ex. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Steve. She just liked my pain. Substance.
A bit too kinky for me. I don't know.
Sitting on a sword is too kinky for you, Dan?
Yeah, I don't want to be whipped with a 7-tailed whatever whip.
6 tails, no more than 6.
Just 6 tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, blood is so hard to get off bed sheets. I don't know.
You got to get the red satin sheets, man.
You got to put the plastic on top, like you're a serial killer. You'll be fine.
We went from red satin sheets to Dexter here. Okay.
You got to be prepared.
Oh yeah, I literally did not think that it could be interpreted that way, but yeah. If someone says that, it's like, suspicious, very suspicious. I think the other thing from this section of the chapter, I guess, which was interesting, is like the swordman guy. He seemed pretty good. We haven't seen many guys go toe to toe with guts like that.
Very sneaky.
It's very quick, but yeah.
This dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who tries to, who's like, I'm not going to fight him, he'll kill me, and then a few seconds later he's trying to get him.
How did he not get slashed with Guts' draw of the sword?
He jumped over it, right?
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, I missed that.
It's a bit hard to see. I only figured it out because he said that the shoe got cut.
Oh, I was wondering how that happened. And I was too lazy to go back and try and figure it out.
Yeah. But he must be pretty good, because even, Guts, acknowledges that he's good, right? They're both, saying, okay, you're good. We don't want to fight right now.
He cut Guts.
Yeah.
That's not trivial.
Oh, yeah, on his cheek.
Yeah, that's not trivial.
Yeah. Maybe he's as good as Griffith.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah. Hidden gem.
He's got a slightly similar facial style to Griffith.
He does.
They're like cousins. We're gonna find out. I'm kidding. It could be, and it's possible. I don't know anything like that.
But I don't think he has the same presence. He's the opposite presence. Griffith is the central focus of everyone. He's more like the sidelines, right?
But it's this neat thing, right? There's this troupe of, and instead of going super comical where they're all incompetent, they have this figurehead leader who's like a maiden who's supposed to be just a figurehead and not really making any decisions. She's supposed to be just marching, looking cute, and then this guy and the guy with the other soldier with a name are very competent. They're supposed to actually be running things, and I'm sure they just keep your mouth shut, sweetie, and you're in charge, but don't actually. And then she's like, "Well, I'm in charge," you can see her running out there I'm giving the orders now, and then she does not have that competence that they have.
Yeah.
Which is a neat dynamic for a military group.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what you want from a military command structure, but
I'm sure they're trying to give her jobs that aren't too important. Because
I mean, we do see a bit of explanation after, because there's a chapter when she talks with the, I don't know, the Curia. I don't know what it's called here, but the head guys at the Holy See, right? So I think I think it's mainly like they say it's like the unit is supposed to just be a place to keep kids of rich families. They're not supposed to die. If a mission should have been really easy, or should have been like not even a mission, like who cares, right?
Right.
But she took it seriously.
Right.
Oh, interesting. She got in trouble because she took it seriously, because the mission itself wasn't really a carefree thing. They were following a trail of dead people, large numbers of dead people.
Yeah, but they were looking for the Black Swordsman because they thought it was like a manifestation of like their prophecy, which means the people sending her there probably didn't really think it was a serious mission.
Yeah.
They probably didn't really think he was a manifestation of their prophecy or the hawk or whatever. They probably was like, let's send her on this. So she'll go out. They'll all go out and feel like they're doing something, and then their parents will make donations to the church.
Yeah, he's...
Maybe she should have brought the troop back. Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Oh, no, didn't they mention later in the volume that the Black Swordsman isn't in the prophecy? So, yeah, it does
knew that.
It does seem like
interesting.
Like just to keep them busy and get them out of the way for a while. Like, go have fun.
It's also interesting because that, we know he's not part of the prophecy in the larger sense. Right, like when the thing happens, right? Griffith was prophesied to come out and like become a member of the God Hand, but Guts wasn't supposed to survive. And we saw the God Hand going, oh, that's interesting. He made it out. The two survived. They weren't supposed to. Let's see what happens next. They're not upset about it, but we know it's outside the plan.
And talk about like prophecy and big scale stuff. We get a bit more information, like more large-scale information on the world and what's going on, right? I think one chapter is dedicated to like the plague and everyone dying in Midland, right?
Oh, and Dream of the Hawk.
Yeah. Then there's the Dream of a Hawk. Everyone had the same dream, right? Hawk, very suspicious, very suspicious. And then what else do we see? The death of the king?
Yes. And we see Charlotte again. I was wondering... She got abducted, I thought, but I don't know, she's back here and just closeted off from her father.
Yeah, doesn't want to see him for, obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't seem very happy right now.
You see demons manifesting in the corpses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the other pages that made me turn real fast.
That is creepy. That's another bulb-headed guy. Piles of corpses. So we've got a plague. Everyone dreaming of the hawk coming to save them.
Yeah.
Big egg-headed counselor dude muttering the hawk will come again. King dies. It's almost like everything is just...
Yeah. And the king sees some sort... I don't know if it's a vision or a dream or a hallucination, right? Of the hawk coming down for Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was happening live, but then later on she says, Lord Griffith, come and save me.
Yeah. Kind of ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not clear from these pages if it's a hallucination or not. I don't think it is, but it's not clear from these pages.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Griffith is the White Hawk and Guts is the Black Hawk. I mean, he's the Black Swordsman also, I suppose, but in the story so far, the White Hawk is evil and the Black Hawk is less evil. Well, Guts isn't evil, but more just...
Is the Black Hawk, like, is it a prophecy that says there's going to be a Black Hawk? I'm trying to remember. Is that what it says?
Maybe. is up.
I'm trying to remember where. Does it say Black Hawk anywhere? Or is it... I remember Black Sheep.
I think all the Hawk references are Griffith. Like whatever the color is. Hawk is Griffith.
Yeah. Because it could be that in some prophecies it's like black because they knew he was going to be a bad guy, and some it's like manipulated, so he's like the good guy, maybe.
Because he appears as both. He appears as this white angelic being, like in the king's vision, and in reality, he often does. He's got the white hair, but when he's in like during like the you know where he turned, he was all in black, like leather stuff. So he's been both colors.
True.
And we got the angry elephants coming.
The big army. Yeah.
Yeah, Kush.
Yeah, what's going to happen with that? I don't know. Lots of things happening suddenly.
Yeah. A lot of things getting set up to, I assume, converge at some point. This is Zod again, right?
Yeah. Yeah, loving Zod.
And then Griffith made an appearance here. Sorry, go ahead.
I love the what they see, right? They all see the Hawk coming. And all the regular people see their salvation, and Zod sees someone tough enough to fight. Like, all right, Zod's cool. We're good with Zod.
Yeah. How did you guys interpret the Zod chapter? What do you think he wanted Griffith from that?
He wants a challenge.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you think Griffith is saying, I am challenging you or you'll meet me eventually, or that, I don't know, he's going to make Zod mean guts again?
I think Griffith is saying to Zod that, like, I'm so much more powerful than you. That's, like, you're not even close to my level. That's how it looked to me. But I don't know if what he saw was a vision, if it actually happened, and, you know, and then he transformed back and he was wounded. I don't know, actually.
Yeah. He did say it's a vision, right? Or something like it. It's
maybe.
Something like a dream. This is your dozing. The dusk between dream and consciousness. That's what the Hawk says. Dozing is such a non-serious word to use. So it says that when the sky falls at the holy ground where blind sheep gather and erect a pillar of fire, the desired will come. The desired for Zod, I suppose. Isn't it interesting that Zod was the one giving Griffith prophecies and now Griffith is giving Zod prophecies?
How the turntables.
Well, he's sending Zod to Guts, right? The blind.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's where Guts is going, right? To save Cosmo, I think. I mean, it's all about giving everybody what they want. It's this weird thing, right? The demons, in a way, they're not imposing their will. They're just sort of saying, "Oh, we'll help you get what you want," and that's what makes them the most evil of all, because everyone wants like nasty stuff. Not everyone, enough people. This is why I think I decided this is true grimdark. To me, grimdark is, like I said, like people are bad. That's to me the grimdark thing, right? It's a, you know, in Tolkien, most people are good, you know, and Terry Brooks, even in Wheel of Time, in grimdark, the people are bad, or not great. Most people, and here, the worst things in there. It's not a dark fantasy, right? Because the demons aren't really. They're not evil because of their evil, like by nature. They're evil because they are the manifestation of the subconscious of humans, right? That's all the evil is coming from, ultimately from people. It's not, oh, they're demons and they're evil because of course they are. It's the source is all people, and that's true grimdark to me.
Yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah, I mean, isn't that what philosophers have been discussing for like 4,000 years? Are people innately evil or good? Right? They alternate between one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. Open question.
Mm.
But yeah, I hope that, yeah. I don't know. You would hope that it's not like it's portrayed in Berserk. You would hope.
Oh, it's not. Most people are decent. Society wouldn't work if most people were nasty and evil and taking every chance to do horrible things. Like, we don't.
Yeah. But I think that's like one, I don't know, I remember some British philosopher which was saying, without society, without strict rules and hierarchy, then society would collapse because people are bad inherently, individually.
Life would be, brutal and something brutal and short. Yeah. Shoot. There's a phrase. Oh, and his cute baby comes to help.
Oh.
Yeah.
I read this last week. I was like, oh, the baby comes.
Papa.
Was he trying to help?
Yeah, it's sending him to Casca. The baby's the true hero of the story.
True.
Danger.
Giving him creepy visions of Casca.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you guys think about... Yeah. What do you guys think about the chapter of Guts going back and Rickard and everyone else?
I love that.
Yeah, that was a really good chapter.
Did you think that was going to happen? Casca was going to disappear?
No, I don't think so.
I thought whatever happened to her in the vision was happening in the area that she was already in. I didn't think she would have disappeared. But yeah, I love the lecture that he got from Rickard. So that's the thing, right? Like, all these really bad things happened, and we started with Guts killing every day, and we continued on for another 3 volumes, where we didn't really sit down and acknowledge what happened. He ran away immediately. So this was the chapter where we got to sit down and think about it. Guts did, and I guess we got a chance to also deal with it a little bit as readers.
I think we had this exact same discussion when he left. In the discussion, saying, is he running away from his responsibility or not, or right? And this is the resolution, I guess, sort of. In the discussion, our discussion in the manga, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a parallel also to what happened before, right? In the Golden Age arc. Yeah. What were you saying, Joe?
He says that too, the parallel to the Golden Age arc.
Yeah.
Am I doing it again? Am I leaving everything before I even notice it's gone again? But I find it really interesting because, the beginning setup, in the first volume, he's on his own, and Puck tags along, but Puck's just a healing potion with wings, so that makes sense. But he's very much I'm by myself, and then we see how he got there, the whole Golden Age arc, and then we see with the elves, and it's back to I'm alone and I've got Puck, but really I'm doing my own thing. And now we see that it's been 2 years, and you kind of setting up this expectation that he's going to be that guy, and right away it's done. This character arc is past it. All right, now he's okay, this is not what I want to be anymore. I'm not going to be. When he makes these declarations, he really makes them. From now on, I'm going to stick with Costco or die trying, I guess. Mm-hmm. So it's really interesting to me. I feel like we were being set up to think that was going to be the pattern. He's going to go kill an apostle a week, kind of thing. But they're definitely saying we've moved beyond that. We've hinted at this 2 years where he was doing that apostle a week thing, and now we're done. You're not going to get that repetitiveness. You're going to move on to something new, which is good. This is not a complaint.
Did the baby give him the vision of Casca being burned?
Because it says words.
Because it looks like he kind of goes into that dream or vision, and then he sees the baby immediately after. I thought maybe the baby was trying to tell him something.
Yeah. He asked, did you do this? And then the baby had the vision of, baby's face changed to that of Casca's, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's showing Casca's burning face, literally. But before that, the dream was also induced by the baby. or the.
Mm-hmm.
He should keep the baby in his pouch next to Puck. That'd be so much more useful. It's not going to do it.
It's like an accessory, like poodles are for celebrities. It's just like put him in a little satchel and carry him around and get lots of attention and show
can I
him
see
off.
your baby? You don't want to.
No, you
trust
really
me.
don't.
You can, but you're not going to like it.
Not the best idea. But I did like to see Guts go back and see the damage he's done by not staying around, by not protecting Casca the way she protected him, the way she helped him heal. So that I did like seeing that he starts to realize that all the mistakes he's made and that he was using hate as fuel and not thinking straight. Even the blacksmith is like, don't be like me. Don't make the mistakes I've made, but...
I forget, was Guts going to leave before the demon showed up at their door the last time? Or was that the triggering event for him to leave?
No. I thought he was going to leave. I don't know if he said it or not, but you definitely get the feeling that he wanted to leave. He wanted to spend his nights killing demons. He likes it. It's not like, to them it's punishment, but to him it's like, it's. I always feel like Guts at night is like Rorschach in prison in Watchmen. Like you're stuck here with me. Like, oh, good, more dogs. Good, I have things to kill now. You're going to be dying until sunrise.
More horses. Yeah.
Yeah. And he wasn't going to get that done in the Elf Valley because they don't come there.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure.
I did like the little speech the blacksmith gave him about you sink the blade called your heart deep into blood in order to fix the nicks called sorrow. In the end, all that's left is a pile of rust and scraps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the blacksmith, his daughter, and Rickard are one of the few people actually. I'm not saying having a good time, but living a decent life in this world. They don't seem to have been troubled by the famine and the plague and everything else, and they seem decent people and just living on their own.
Yeah, the blacksmith is dying, but I like the fact that he's dying of old age, right? Which is sort of that's what's supposed to happen, right? He's not the plague, and it's not anything else. Which also makes me wonder if the more evidence the plague is potentially supernatural in origin. The plague's not getting to them in the Elf Valley.
Oh, that's a good point.
I suspect it makes sense in another way too. I mean, the plague is just setting everything up for the hawk.
I feel like we have met a lot of horrible people, but we haven't met enough people to say that in this world people are inherently nasty.
No.
It's
We've
mostly.
We've seen good people. We've seen people who just tried to help. Not everyone is bad.
Yeah, but we've mostly seen bad things happen to good people, and bad things happen to bad people too. But we haven't seen much good things happen to good people.
No, that's true.
That's true.
That'd be boring. I mean, we need that.
It's
a romance novel that came out.
That's a ridiculous notion. But yes.
He did other stuff.
Sorry, go ahead.
He worked on things other than Berserk. I don't think any of them are romance novels, but he did work on other projects.
True.
I forget the boy's name that stayed behind, who was in the Band of the Hawk, who was he heals because he took the time to accept what had happened and he moved on. And Guts is still not able to do that. I'm not willing to.
To be honest, he did not. He was not in the the festival or whatever, right? So probably less traumatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he did. He was in the forest though when everyone else died, right? He saw all the monsters killing everyone else, so he did see something, right?
I don't remember. He at least was there. Right. He was nearby when they died, whether he saw it or not. Like, that's traumatizing.
Yeah. But I think before there's like a scene in which like there's a group of the people left behind, not the ones going with Guts and Casca, in the forest. And then most of them get killed by apostates and demons, and only Rickard survives, I think. If I remember correctly. I think it's super dark at night in the forest, and he went out to get some water, and when he came back, he saw like the monsters and everything. But yeah, not as traumatic. Still pretty bad.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
Well, he seems to be doing fine now.
Yeah.
You know? Stable job. He's emotionally stable, too.
Doesn't have the mark?
Doesn't have a mark?
Doesn't have the mark.
Very convenient for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess then the last... I don't know, do you want to talk more about this part? Because then there's the last part, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of this.
Yeah.
The blacksmith?
No, after blacksmiths, there's another part with the Inquisitor.
Oh, yeah.
Right, which is the last part of the volume, I guess.
The wheel?
Yeah. It's, I don't like that guy. I don't know why I don't like that guy.
No one likes people without skin. It's the whole. We're very biased that way. When someone has no skin on their face, it's never right. Like Freddy.
Yeah, what was he? what is that face? It's made of wood.
Or stone.
Or stone.
It reminds me of the stone heads on Easter Island.
Oh yeah.
You know?
But you mean under the mask?
No, is it a mask? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was. It's too unreal otherwise.
But it changes when he gets angry. So like, what the hell is that?
That's a mask, right? When he takes it off, he looks like that.
Yeah, I wondered because his face does change, but I don't see him.
Does he take it off?
Well, it does move
I don't think
though.
So.
I thought that was, yeah.
You see a chapter in which it changes, right? Like that chapter at the top left, right?
At the top left?
Yeah.
Of that page, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just some weird dude with a weird face, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's like so different than everyone else. It's like, you know, we have guys with a big head, and then we have this dude with the, I don't know what head.
Smooth
I think
head.
it's his real face, I think. Like, it looks like a mask, but...
Yeah, all he's taken off is his hat, and then he, after all that, he's got his hat back on, and he looks like everything's okay again. Yeah, what is up with that
his mouth
guy?
opens, he makes facial expressions. Oh, wait, maybe you're right.
Is he just a weird-looking guy, or is he a demon in disguise in the...
That's true. We have seen before that weird-looking people, like, that were demons.
Apostles transform all the time. We've definitely seen that.
Yeah. But some of them look weird when in human form, right? They look not completely human, right?
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be a mask, you're right, because the mouth changes.
Yeah.
Which it hadn't before. Before this, his mouth was frozen in place on all the panels. But that's his mouth changing. That's not him taking off a mask. So you are right. I thought there was a mask, because here, the stuff around the edges that looked to me like a seam, like he had a mask like attached.
Oh, yeah.
I think I just saw that wrong. I don't think that's what I thought that was, but I think
if you go to the next pages, you see like him from the side, and you can see that their flashbacks continue to the back, and it's like a church hat.
Yeah.
Like in real life, it's like a real life church hat, right?
And he kills a guy with a Bible. That's great.
Yeah.
Dulls
Must
as
be
a
pretty
weapon.
strong though to do that.
Yeah, he crushes the guy's skull in with it.
I don't know if I could crush a guy's skull with the book, a hardcover book. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, I guess it would take a lot of power.
It must be a special edition.
There's a dent in his head.
Broken binding, maybe?
Yeah, broken binding. Oh, no, you could do it too with the broken binding. Interior art and everything. Sprayed edges.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a metal binding Bible or something, specifically for him. Reinforced. Steel pages.
This should be a meme. We should put this picture image up every time someone releases like a third volume in a book series with like a slightly different size than the first two volumes. You know? Who gets like super mad about it should put this picture up. You know? Third volume, crash.
Misguided fool.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Very salty.
Yeah. But yeah, like this guy is, I don't know, this guy's the worst. He's like, the way he's set up, you can't set it up to make him, I don't know, more hated, but more like more of a hypocrite, or I don't know, it's...
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the right word is. Hypocrite feels in the right area, but mostly this what is the unreserved judgment that you're presumably imposing some moral code, but you're kind of killing wantonly, like simply to exercise power, because a priest dared to pass judgment on his own.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, how can he ever justify that? Sort of like, it's very...
Yeah.
It's hard to justify whatever, philosophy or moral teaching you're following,
Yeah. And he burnt an entire village. So I guess that's the other sort of common... And I don't know if it's a fantasy trope. I haven't read enough fantasy to say one way or the other, but for your own corrupt reasons, burning villages down, and then like using your justifications from the doctrine you're following to justify that, to say like, I guess, and I don't know if I'm using the right words, but he called the village full of people like heretics, right? I think he said heretics or whatever the equivalent is in this world. And he's like, burn the village down. But what they did is just, I don't know, make fun of him or something silly like that.
I think the justification was like, they didn't give food to the church as a tithe because they didn't have any food, and so they were punished. Yeah. Like, that's literally...
And this wheel thing is really interesting, right? He's not crucifying them because that's Catholic iconography. He's putting them on wheels, which are meaningful in many Eastern religions.
True. But the wheel, this is an actual real-life punishment in medieval Germany that they used to do. I think that's what it's taken from, because it's literally something they did until the end of the 17th century. And yeah, you just break all the limbs of a body with the wheel, and then you sort of tie it up in the wheel and you hang them out. And sometimes they were given reprieve by cutting their throat before being, braided into the wheel, but not all the time. But yeah, this is like, it's even worse, like, to think that this has actually happened in real life.
I had no clue.
Yeah. It's, I think Miura did some research in, terrible medieval torture punishments. And yeah, this was specifically like a Holy Roman Empire sort of area thing, mostly. Germany sort of thing.
Makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, but it's such a gruesome way. I don't know. I think it's called St. Catherine's Wheel.
Oh, wow.
But yeah. not the best way
0
of
to
going,
10. Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. And we do see, I forget her name, the one she's when she's watching, she has a smirk on her face when she sees the men be tortured on the wheel.
Farnese?
Yeah.
Farnese.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, she does seem to almost enjoy it.
Yeah.
So maybe something else is going on with her.
Not normal.
There's a plague, and they have a plague doctor.
Oh yeah.
He's one of the torturers. I don't know if he's going to be doing any plague doctoring, but there is a plague doctor mask.
Yeah.
Does anyone else think it was a really bad idea for a handful of people to attack like a metal plated wagon?
Okay.
Is
Probably
not
like
the best idea.
They seem like a lot of people, so I think they thought they could.
They were defeated pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like even all the tools that the minions use, those are all like either real life or real depictions in like manuscripts of torture tools or whatever used in medieval times. So I think he did some research into that stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't want to. None of them. I don't. They're not great ways of going.
No.
But it's almost comedic, right? It's like the themed villain of the week. Like, what if they're all torturers and they use torture stuff, and then like I feel almost like it's a Power Rangers type thing. You know, they're all like a super team or something.
Yeah. It's a very like Japanese tournament arc sort of thing to happen, right?
Exactly. I mean, you don't really feel we're going to get character development for the Plague Doctor guy. You know, best case scenario, he's going to have a nice fight with guts and gets cut in half. Although, this isn't the kind of manga where that will necessarily happen. I hope it does.
Who knows? Maybe.
Are you current on this, Joe, or Joe and Dan? Are you both current on the series? Have you read all the issues or the volumes? No.
I've read up until 300 something, but again, I don't remember much of it. I remember some parts of it, so I'll try not to spoil those ones. But and I know like the general plot line, and some specific scenes I remember. But yeah, apart from that, no.
I think there's 2 or 3 volumes I have not read.
Oh wow.
Not much more than that. I think 41's out or 42, and I think I've read at least through 38 or 39. But for a while I was reading them online and then buying it when it came out, so I was not synced up. But I remember considering this, we're not halfway through. Like, I don't remember enough about what happens after this to account for everything that happens after this.
So you probably remember until the end of this arc, because this is a pretty long arc, if I remember correctly. It's a fairly... I think it's at least a couple of volumes, I think.
I don't remember the names of anything, so for me, yeah. I would have to say what happens later, that I remember this and this event. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I do know that, there's a bunch of setup for a bunch of things which are going to happen in the next couple of volumes here, right? So there's going to be some exciting stuff, obviously, happening, right? But yeah, you don't know what exactly, but you're getting to know the characters which are going to be part of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the next one is like introduce the final characters and then.
Like you can see why he did the Valley of the Elves thing, right? You needed a break between the Golden Age and this, but this feels like, okay, now we're back on track.
Yeah.
Now something's happening again, and we're moving forward. And the whole thing with the elves, again, it was a monster of the week, and you need those. You need the break. You guys pointed it out. but it's always less satisfying. You're like, oh, it's a filler episode. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if it went from Golden Age to this directly. I don't know. It would have been probably too much.
Too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It is. But when you're reading them like one a week, and when you read them when it came out, it was even slower, much slower than one a week, right? This volume was probably several months worth at least.
Yeah.
Of,
yeah. So I think the elf thing. I think like last discussion we were like saying probably more than half a year.
Wow.
Of issues. So
That'd be tough.
Yeah.
Do you think we also needed that to really register that Guts has been fighting demons every night? Like, we kind of knew that going into the Golden Age arc, but did we also need the recap in some sense, or do you think the beginning of this arc was sufficient? If the Value of the Elves thing went away, would it still have hammered home the point about how Guts was living?
Later, right? He's got to refresh your memory about what the status quo was before the Golden Age arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you need to actually, I think, show that, because if they don't show like what he's been doing, like you don't feel like he's gone for a long time, right? If you do a time skip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think when we did the one in the Golden Age arc, which was a time skip pretty much, it didn't feel like he was gone for long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it didn't show much about that. So
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anything else you guys can think of for 17? Good.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Exciting stuff. Lots of stuff happening.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good volume. I enjoyed this one a lot. Might be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But
Well, maybe you're gonna enjoy a lot of the next ones probably then. They're some of your favorites, yeah.
yes. Oh, show's ready.
Nice.
Nice.
I was wondering if my Kindle cover was messed up or if that is how they did the new volumes, because these have borders from now on, I think. Like that. Oops.
Yeah.
Are you reading this on a Kindle, or you just?
Yeah, I wanted to stop lugging that thing around.
The weapon?
Yeah.
I never read manga on a Kindle.
I tend to read these in a coffee shop the day before. Like, I don't want to carry that thing in my bag.
You could always bash someone's head in.
Yeah.
See, that's a book you can bash a head in with.
That's not how you spell Varsha.
Yeah.
Barista.
I said almond milk. And just like,
those books are big enough to. Someone had them on sale for like $30 or $35, and I was like, do I want to buy it? No, I can't. I just can't. I just can't justify spending like $500 to get the pretty versions of the books I already own.
yeah. That's kind of neat having the OG versions. It's kind of cool to have those, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But before we go, Joe, can you tell us where people can find you and your books?
jcmburn.com or no, that's it. jcmburn.com. All that stuff should be there.
Okay.
Go to Amazon and type in jcmburn. I'm sorry. And I'm on all the things. I'm on Blue Sky.
Wow.
I'm on not Twitch. No, not what
Discord?
is the what's the I'm on Discord all the time.
TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok. I should Threads. I'm on Threads.
Wow.
And I'm on X. So feel free to X me, or I don't know what the hell we call it now. Send me an X.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
That just sounds wrong.
It really, everything about it is wrong. Everything about it is wrong. So it could sound wrong. Yeah, that's it.
I just can't do Discord. I don't know how you guys do Discord. It's too chaotic. It's too much stuff. I don't know. I can't keep up with it.
I only use it to DM people I know who hang out there a lot.
It's insane.
It's a terrible platform for sending messages and discussions, I think.
It's like a IRC. It reminds me of IRC with like a different GUI. It's weird. I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable.
I just wish it was Slack. That would be much better. Anyways.
Isn't it almost exactly the same as Slack, though?
Slack is much better. Much more organized, and you can find things a lot easier.
It's insane.
Okay. I haven't used Discord enough to say, but it felt a lot like Slack.
Fair enough.
Discord's the place to find indie authors. Like if you're an indie author and you need like stuff, like you want to, there are places where a lot of indie authors hang out. So it's just really good to get like, who knows how to use draft to digital to set up a hardcover? You'll get like answers, like useful ones. So in that sense, it's just really good. And it's very popular with booktubers. A lot of booktubers have a Discord. And then you get on there and you're like, hey, do you want my book?
That's the problem, though, is that they all have Discords. It's like, I don't have time for that. Like, it's too much time. I don't know. It's so much time.
It's easy to get overwhelmed.
Yeah. But anyway, totally. I don't yelling at kids to get off my lawn. So Dan, where can people find you?
Find me on Patreon forums, DNFire17. Yeah, I made that name when I was 17. Never changes since. Stuck with it. Nice.
Consistency. And Varsha.
That's a good origin story for your username. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Reading by the Rainy Mountain. The About page has also my X and Goodreads profiles if you want to reach out to me directly. And I hang out on the Patreon forum.
Cool. And you can find me on pagechewing.com. That's where I spend most of my time. So we will see everyone soon. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.